So we were learning hydrogen, right? We were learning hydrogen, and we were learning more specifically what? We were learning more specifically the covalent hydrides, I guess, right? Yes or no? Covalent only, na?
So today we have to start non-stoichiometric hydrides.
Non-stoichiometric hydrides. Yeah, correct. But on the last chapter, the last thing that we learned was
Sir, today also we write notes or we can complete later.
no, you just tell me that sir notes नहीं लिखना है. I will try
नहीं लिखना
not to.
है, लिखना है
नहीं नहीं
हमको,
नहीं
लेकिन थोड़ा नहीं.
नहीं, you don't have to write. I will send you the.
Okay.
I will send you. Okay, don't worry. Huh. So what did I say? Okay, so we have non-stoichiometric hydride or metallic hydride also we say that. Okay, please write the. We have non-stoichiometric. Don't write. Sorry, I'm saying this. I cannot control this. Okay, please apologies. Non-stoichiometric hydrides. These are also known as metallic hydrides. These are also known as interstitial hydride. These are also known as interstitial hydrides. First of all, the ionic halide or saline halide, they are formed by S block element. The covalent one, they are formed by P block elements. So the non-stoichiometric, the metallic or interstitial hydride, these are formed by D block and F block elements. D block and F block metals. Okay. Important point is that not all the D block, F block, and D block, F block, and D block and F block elements or metals, they form hydride. So important point is that groups 7, 8, and 9 do not form hydrides. Do not form hydrides. Okay. Next point. In group 6, only chromium forms chromium hydride, that is CRH. That is CRH. Okay. Now, when we have hydrides that are formed by these metals, they are often what? They are often non-stoichiometric. What do I mean? Please write it first. Okay. So most of the hydrides are non-stoichiometric. Non-stoichiometric. For example, we have lanthanum hydride. Okay, but for each lanthanum, you will have 2.87 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so as you can see, this is not the stoichiometric ratio. It is not the simple one. That is why it is known as non-stoichiometric. Okay, so the number of lanthanum and the number of hydride, they don't have a whole number ratio. They don't have a whole number ratio. Similarly, for each, you will have just 2.55. Okay. Similarly, you can have for nickel, if I want to say, for nickel, you will have, it depends. There are many nickel hydrides which are formed. You can have from 0.6 to 0.7, 0.6 to 0.7. Okay. So write this. Okay, so you don't have to write. Now,
Sir, what is YB?
you tell me now what is YB? It is an F block. It is an F block. Do you know this or don't know this?
Sir, I don't remember.
It is ytterbium. It is in F block, okay? F block. I mean, more on the right side of the F block, you will see. I think it is second last or something. Second last or something. On the first transition series. Sorry, the first inner transition series in F block. Okay. Now, let us write what are the reasons, okay? What are the reasons? Initially, it was proposed that it was proposed that the hydrogen is in interstitial sites of metal. Okay, so for example, if you will have lanthanum, so lanthanum atoms are here like this, lanthanum atom are like this. So somewhere the hydrogen gets trapped, and that is why it is non-stoichiometric. So this is not some kind of bonding which is taking place between lanthanum and hydrogen. It is just that hydrogen atom, it got trapped inside the interstitial site. Interstitial sites between, that means that the side between some metal atom, that is known as the interstitial site. Okay, now this was initially thought. Okay, this was initially thought. Right now, next we can say that is why these are also known as, these are aka interstitial hydrides. Interstitial hydrides. Okay, now but the later studies they showed that it is not, this theory is not very much correct. This theory is not very much correct. There are only a few metals. There are only a few metals which I can say what, there are only few metals which show these type of interstitial hydrides. Okay, which show these type of interstitial hydrides. Okay, there are only few metals which show interstitial hydride, and these metals are nickel, palladium, and cerium. Okay, fine. Next point, that is important note. Okay, some metallic hydride are used for storage of hydrogen and as source of energy. Okay, now these example, we have palladium and platinum. Now palladium and platinum, they can accommodate a very large volume of, and they can accommodate what, very large volume of hydrogen, and that is why they are also used for the storage of hydrogen, and that hydrogen can then be used in hydrogen economy and hydrogen as a fuel. Okay, so this is all about the hydrides. The next element or the next molecule that you want to study is water. Study water. Okay, water. Now water is very much abundant, right? Water is very much abundant. It is solvent. A few important points. most living organism are composed of water. And the major composition is of water in all of the elements, all of the living organisms. Okay. And what I can say, even the earth, right? Even the earth, we can have, we will have what? Most of the part is what? It is completely filled with water rather than land, Okay. Most of earth is water. Okay. And the next very big use of water is that water is used as solvent. Water is used as solvent. Next, we will learn about the physical properties of water. Physical properties of water, H2O. Physical properties of water. Okay, what are the physical properties of water? You can see it is what? It is colorless. I know. Colorless, it is what? The phase is liquid at room temperature. The phase is liquid. It is what? Odorless. It is odorless, tasteless. Okay, so these are the some general properties, physical properties. Okay. Now, the important point of hydrogen is that H2O is able to form hydrogen bond. And hence it can form ice, right? Next, what I can say, right? Due to hydrogen bond, the freezing point is high. The freezing point is high. The boiling point is high. The boiling point is high. Okay. Now it needs high heat of vaporization is needed. That means to convert it into vapor, you need a lot of heat. Vaporization. It has high heat of vaporization. Okay. And that is why also it will be, I mean, obviously water can hold more amount of heat, and that is why it has more heat capacity. Okay, specific, let me say. You know what is heat capacity, right? The capability of holding heat, okay, per gram, because it is specific. Next, now since it can hold heat for a long time, it will be a very good thermal conductor. Conductivity. Thermal conductivity is also what? Thermal conductivity is also very high. Okay. Now, what else I can say? The dipole moment is high. Okay, dipole moment is high. The dielectric constant is high. Okay. So these are various properties that arises due to the hydrogen, bond. Okay. Now, the structure of water. Okay, the structure of water. Write down the structure of water. Don't write the structure of water. Okay, so structure of water, let me just write it like this: oxygen, and it has 2 hydrogens. Okay, it has 2 hydrogens. It has also what? Lone pairs like this. It has lone pair like this. Fine. What is the angle? What is the angle here? The angle is 104.5 decrease. The bond length of OH is 95.7 or 8 picometer. 95.7 or 8 picometer. Okay. What is the hybridization of water?
Sir,
Hybridization is sp3. Yeah, tell me.
did I get kicked out of the meeting?
Sorry.
Did I get kicked out of the meeting, or was it lagging or something?
No, nothing happened.
No,
No
okay.
one. Yeah. Hybridization is sp3. Then the geometry is tetrahedral. Then you have the shape, which is bent. The shape is what? The shape is bent. Okay. And that is why, obviously, you can see that there is a polarity here. Okay. There's a polarity here. This has delta negative, sorry, delta positive, and this has 2 delta negative, and this is also having delta positive. To balance this oxygen will be having 2 delta negative. Okay. Now, what else we can say? We can also write one more point. The density of ice is lower than that of water. Lower than that of water. That means the liquid water. Okay, the liquid water. Now, due to the density which is low, due to what happens due to this, ice floats. Ice floats on water. Now, if ice is floating on water, and if you have the, if you see about the aquatic life, if you see about the aquatic life, then this is the reason why all the aquatic life is preserved in very cold atmosphere also. Okay, so in winters, the surface of ocean, becomes ice and provides insulation. And it provides what? And it provides some kind of insulation. What kind of insulation? Thermal insulation. Okay, which keeps the aquatic life living. Okay. Next is the structure of ice. Structure of ice. Okay. Right here.
Sir, we
ice
don't have to by heart the structure, right?
of ice
Of water.
or of water. What do you want? Bent तो आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा ना?
Yes,
Bent
sir.
and the dipole moment है ना? Bent dipole moment. You must know these things. Yeah, obviously, number I won't say that you have to remember the number. Okay. But I can't even say that can they ask or will they not ask? Okay, because it is an NCERT. They can ask, but I will not say that you remember it. Okay. जरूरी नहीं है इस तरह की अगर चीजें आप याद करने बैठ जाइए तो क्या क्या नहीं याद करना पड़ेगा, सब कुछ याद करना पड़ जाएगा. ठीक है. So don't worry. If they ask you, they will ask you for one number. Leave that. Okay, but this they will not ask. Most probably, it has never been asked what is the bond length. Okay, but you can be asked to compare the bond angle in terms of chemical bonding. Okay, in terms of chemical bonding, which will be having higher bond angle, whether it will be NH3, H2O, or CH4. These type of questions can be asked relatively, not exact value. Structure of ice. Right here, ice has very ordered 3D hydrogen bonded structure. Hydrogen bonded structure. Okay, hydrogen bonded structure. Let me get the ice structure. Okay, I'm not going to draw it. Structure of ice. Yeah. Yeah, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me draw this as, okay, they have done a very bad, okay, the green they have made, and the red, it is what? These are hydrogens, okay, these are hydrogens. Acha, can you see, wait a second. Let me just point the, can you see a hexagon?
Yes, sir.
Now also, can you see a hexagon like this here?
Yes, sir.
Hai. So these type of things are found. Now also, if you see in this way also, this is also a hexagon. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Now this is in some different orientation, and see here also we have a hexagon. Okay. Here also we are having a hexagon like this. So it is very ordered. And what is the structure? The main structure is what it is. All of them are what? All of them are hexagon. Okay. So if you analyze the structure, you can see that it is what it is having. Wait a second. I want to choose one of the molecule. Let me choose one of the molecule which is in the center. Yeah, let us take this. This one here. Okay. Now if I analyze this particular oxygen atom, it has one bond up. One of the bond is coming this side, one of the bond is coming this side, and one of the bond is coming this side. Okay. Now let me just take hold of this part. If you analyze the structure now, this is oxygen 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is almost that this oxygen is having tetrahedral. This is almost having what it is having, some kind of tetrahedral structure. Yes or no? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one oxygen, it is tetrahedrally surrounded by 4 oxygen atoms. Okay. So in ice, the main point is each oxygen is tetrahedrally surrounded by hydrogens. Okay, tetrahedrally surrounded by hydrogens. Now, if I want to see now for each water molecule, how many hydrogen bond is there? So see, this oxygen molecule here, it is making 2 hydrogen bond, these dotted lines, fine. This hydrogen, it is making 1 hydrogen bond like this here, and this hydrogen bond, this hydrogen is also making another hydrogen bond. That means you can see that for each H2O, there is, for each H2O, there is, for each H2O, there is how many? There is 4. Or rather than saying 4, 4 hydrogen bond, 4 hydrogen bonds. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are also many holes here, right? Now, this holes is the reason that the volume becomes larger of ice, and if the mass is same, if I compare now, if I have H2O liquid, and if I have H2O ice, okay. Let me also show you H2O liquid. What will be the structure? Yeah, this is a good comparison here. So as you can see, okay. So here in this structure, you can see that if I want to draw an area kind of thing, then what I can say. So see, there is no cage like thing. Here you have some cage like thing. And that is why what happens, the volume increases of ice. And if the mass is same, but the volume is increasing, then the density will be lower for ice. Okay, so this is why the ice density is lower than that of the liquid water. Okay, now let us move on to the chemical properties of water. Is this in your syllabus? Let me just recheck that. Okay, delete part. I think it is there. Hydrogen. Yeah, water is there. Fahim is getting disconnected again and again. Chemical properties. Of water, chemical properties of water. Okay, number one is its amphoteric nature. Amphoteric nature. Okay, what does it mean? Behaves as base when in presence of acid. If you give it acid, it will behave as base in presence of acid. Next, behaves as acid in presence of a base. Okay, so for example, if I have H2 and I react this with NH3, then what will happen? Water will give one of the protons. Okay, so water will give the proton, and it will become OH negative plus NH4 positive, right? So that means here water is acting as what? Acid. NH3, which is taking up the proton, that is why it is Bronsted-Lowry base. It is acting as a base. Okay. Now, let us see. If I have H2O and I react this with H2S, then now what will happen? Oh, the hydrogen will take one of the hydrogens from sulfur, and it will be H3O positive plus SH negative Okay, so here this is acting as what? It is acting as a base. This is a acid. Okay, now if you have H2O plus H2O, then we say that, okay, one more thing, that these are equilibrium reactions. Okay, you will get H3O plus OH negative. Okay, so these are different types of reactions. Next is the redox reactions involving water. Next point, redox reactions that are shown by water. Now in redox reaction, the best example is with the alkali metals. Okay, the alkali metals. You have sodium, and then you react this with H2O. What will happen? You have sodium, oxygen, and hydrogen. Okay, so these are the elements. So the most logical answer will be, you will be getting sodium hydroxide. Okay, you will be getting what? Sodium hydroxide. Now, we want to balance this. If I write 2 here and I write 2 here, I think it is balanced. Now, as you can see, what is happening here? The sodium is at 0 oxidation state. Here it is in +1 oxidation state. So obviously 0 to +1, right? 0 to +1. So sodium is getting what? Sodium is getting oxidized. So what is water doing here? Water is reducing it. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
H2, plus H2. So water will be getting what? Reduced. Okay, so this is oxidation. This is reduction. Now, another example. See, this is an example if you have a metal. Okay, if you have something from a metal. Now, let us suppose you have something from what? The halogens. For example, you will have fluorine. You have F2. You have F2 plus H2O. So what it is going to give you? What it is going to give you? You have fluorine and H. So you are obviously going to get HF. Okay. Plus you are going to get O2 gas. Plus you are going to get O2 gas. Now here, if I want to balance it, so this will be 2. So if this is 2, this will be what? How much? 4. This will be 2. Now here, what is happening? Here is fluorine is 0, and here fluorine is how much? -1. Correct. So fluorine is getting what? Fluorine is getting reduced. What about hydrogen? Hydrogen is what? +1 here. Hydrogen is getting also. Oxygen, let us say about oxygen here. Let us say about oxygen here. What is happening to oxygen? Oxygen was -2. Now oxygen is 0. It's getting oxidized. Okay, it is getting oxidized. Next, we have hydrolysis. Third is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is what happens if you add water to something. What if you add water to something? Okay. So hydrolysis reactions in which you will have, let us say P4 before P4O10, and let us say P4O10 only. Now in P4O10, you add water. Okay, so you have phosphorus, oxygen, and hydrogen. So this is going to make what? Phosphoric acid, H3, PO4 aqueous. Right? Since you have what? Since you have non-metal oxide, you're going to form what? You're going to form acid. Non-metal oxide forms acid, metallic oxide, they form base. Then you have SiCl4, for example. And if you react this with water, it is going to give you silicon. Now chlorine will be removed and it will be replaced by oxygen. So you'll be having SiO2 now plus. What else will be there? So from here hydrogen, and here you have chlorine. So you'll be getting hydrogen chloride. Now if I want to balance this reaction, you have 4 chlorine, so this will be 4, this will be 2. You have 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. I think everything is balanced. Yeah. Then you can also write, if you have any nitrite type of thing in which nitrogen has a 3 negative charge. For example, an example for this will be, let us suppose what? Li3N. In Li3N, lithium nitride, we have nitrogen in its -3 state. Okay, so if you have any compound like this in which nitrogen is in -3 oxidation state, then what will happen? You add H2O to it. It is going to give you NH3, because from here the hydrogen has what? Hydrogen has +1 charge. So hydrogen will be attacked by nitrogen 3 negative charge, and it will be forming NH3. Plus what is left here now? You will be left with 3 OH negatives, right? So from each hydrogen, you will be getting OH negatives. So if I want to balance this, then how many? Nitrogen to AK, here we have 3, 3, 3, 6, 3 to the 6. Write the fourth one. Formation of hydrates. Okay, formation of hydrates. Now, please write many salts are formed from aqueous solutions. From aqueous solution. Okay. Hence they have water of crystallization. Okay, water of crystallization. For example, you can have BaCl2, which is a salt, and while crystallizing, it take help from water, and that is why it has two water of crystallization. There can be another type in which you can write coordinated water. Now, coordination compounds you will be mostly studying in your class 12th, but it is something like this. You must have seen this somewhere here and there. Yeah, so here water is acting as H2O, can act as ligand. Okay, it can act as ligand. Okay, now another examples could be hydrogen bonded water. Hydrogen bonded water. Okay, for example, you have CuSO4, in which you will get always 5 H2O molecules. Now, this is only happening because the 5 H2O molecule, these are surrounded by these surround the copper, which is in 2 positive charge. Okay, so these are different chemical reactions of what? Different chemical reactions of water. Okay, fine. Now we are left with one topic which is known as you have heard about hard water, soft water? Tell me. Have you heard about hard water, soft water?
Yes, sir.
No. Oh yeah, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
है ना? So you must
Yes,
know
sir.
that. For example, hard water, they basic test would be that they are not very good if you want to wash clothes and all. Foam उतना नहीं होता, झाग उतना नहीं होता, है ना? Now this is a bit long topic. Okay, there is hard water, soft water definitions. I can do it, but I cannot do the how to remove the hardness of water. There are temporary hardness, permanent hardness. There are different methods for temporary and permanent hardness. So I think that I will do in the next lecture. It will take some time. Okay, it will take some time. Rather than now, what I can do, I can go to another topic, which is heavy water. Do you know what is heavy water? Heavy water? No? Write the topic, heavy water. Okay. What is heavy water? D2O. है ना? Deuterium oxide. This is what? Deuterium oxide. Hydrogen can form what? Hydrogen can form H2O. Deuterium can form D2O. So mainly you must know the uses. Okay. So what are the uses? Used as moderator, in nuclear reactors. Okay, in nuclear reactors. Okay, also used in exchange reactions, to study reaction mechanism. To study the reaction mechanism. Okay. Now, next thing is that I mean more uses, chemical reactions. We can write chemical reactions. Okay, chemical reactions. So it can react with calcium carbide plus 2D2O. It is going to give you C2D2 plus calcium. Like hydroxide, you will have ODT. You have OH now. Rather than H, you will have OD. This will be also twice. You can also react SO3 plus D2O. This is going to give you D2SO4. If you react SO3 plus H2O, it is going to give you what? H2SO4. Okay, so similar type of reactions happen. Similar type of reactions happen. Now, one more thing is there, I guess, that is hydrogen as a fuel, right? You have in your syllabus hydrogen as a fuel, as I can remember it properly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hydrogen as a fuel is also there. Maybe the next topic, that is hydrogen as a fuel. Hydrogen as a fuel. Hydrogen can be used as a fuel as its combustion leads to evolution of high amount of energy. Okay, high amount of energy. What is the reaction? What will be the reaction here if I want to use hydrogen H2 plus O2? It is going to give me H2O plus energy, a lot and lot of energy. Okay, lot and lot of energy. So H2 plus O2, half O2, half O2, right? Half O2. So half O2 I can write, and this will be giving me a lots and lots of energy. But why it is not used? Can somebody tell me?
Hydrogen economy.
Are ye kya? You just said a buzzword. Tell me why. Hmm? Let me write, okay? Let me first of all write advantages.
Like because of its mass, it's not used.
Mass, what do you mean by mass?
Like hydrogen has like tons of mass when you keep it in a container.
I could not understand. Can you please repeat that? It has high mass.
Like yeah,
I mean, if you want, for example, if I have a container, if I have this container and in this I have LPG, that is butane. Hai. If I have LPG in this and in the same container, if I will have hydrogen, then I can fit more and lots and lots of hydrogen. So that is why it takes the weight is very high. The weight is the weight is very large. That is one thing. But more problem is that it gives us a lot of energy. So the optimization of energy is the optimization of energy is not done till now. I mean, we don't want that much energy to run the engines. Okay, if I want to use hydrogen as a fuel, we don't want that much energy. So that is the only case. Okay. I was talking about advantages. No advantages. You can write. Less pollution. Right, we will not be polluting because there will be low number of water is a greenhouse gas, that is true. Do you know that water is a greenhouse gas? Water vapor?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Water vapor is a greenhouse gas. That means it can hold a lot of heat. Na? That is why it is a greenhouse gas. It is not harmful, but it is a greenhouse gas. It is a greenhouse gas. Okay. And advantages was, first of all, it has less pollution, high efficiency, and it will also have high evolution of energy. The not disadvantages, but I can write about limitations as of
So,
now.
sir, it's highly exothermic.
Yeah, it is a highly exothermic.
Okay, sir.
Limitations. Okay. What are the limitations? First of all, the first limitation is that hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The mass of containers, okay, the mass of containers. If I compare a tank of petrol, है ना, and tank of H2, okay, a tank of petrol and a tank of H2, then if I want to have the same kind of energy, that much, I mean, from this petrol also and this tank of H2 also, that means I have to take this into 30. Okay, so a tank of H2 is what? A tank of H2 is 30 times more heavier than a tank of petrol if I want to get same amount of energy from both of them. If I want to take same amount of energy from both of them. Okay. Next is transportation and storage. Okay. As you know, what is hydrogen? It is a gas. It is easily escapable, right? It is easily escapable. So whatever transportation you're going to do, you have to have a very insulated kind of tankers in which you can keep hydrogen. Okay. Now those insulations, they are very expensive. Okay, so transportation and storage is very expensive. Okay, now let us write the last part. Okay, hydrogen economy, है ना? Hydrogen economy. What does this mean? Hydrogen economy means an economy which revolves around hydrogen. Right now, we are living in an economy which revolves around the fossil fuels, right? Fossil fuels. Now, please read basic. What is the basic principle?
Using liquid hydrogen as fuel.
Yeah. Principle is to use liquid H2 as fuel. Liquid H2 as fuel. Okay. Now, what are the compartments in which hydrogen economy it deals with? What deals with? It has to tell and address the problems of transportation, of H2, storage of H2. Okay, storage of H2. So these are the two main things that the hydrogen economy it has to deal with. Okay. Now that is it. We are just remaining with hard water, soft water, and how to hard water and soft water, and how to do the how to remove the hardness and softness of water. Okay,
Isn't hard
so
water
that
and
one
soft
thing is
water
remaining.
deleted?
No, it is not deleted. Do you think it is deleted?
Yeah, while taking notes, teacher said hard and soft water is deleted.
Sharavya, is hard water, soft water deleted?
I don't think so, sir.
You don't think so? Okay, fine. Hamza, Hiba, आपकी क्लास आपकी स्कूल में हुआ है हार्ड वाटर सॉफ्ट वाटर?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we
हुआ है
have
ना?
done hard water and soft water.
है ना? ये खालिद आपके स्कूल वाले बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं आपको, पढ़ाना नहीं चाहते लगता है.
I guess.
So the deleted portion is preparation of H2 and properties of H2.
and also hydrogen peroxide, Shravya.
Okay, sir.
है ना? See, if you want to see the deleted portions, these are the deleted portions. Wait a second.
But sir, we did hard water and soft water in our school.
Yeah, hard water and soft water is there. These are the portions which are deleted. Preparation properties,
Like
uses of
more than
hydrogen.
50% is deleted, right?
More than?
Around 30-40%.
Nah, for hydrogen only these are the related portions. Preparation properties, uses of hydrogen and hydrogen peroxide, preparation, reactions and structure and use. So Salman is saying something. They removed a lot of portion.
I feel like like the hydrogen chapter, more portions were cancelled rather than
No.
Yeah.
This is, see, chemistry deleted portion. Okay, wait a second. The another thing that you can do is you can take this. Wait a second. Let me open. Okay, and we have chemistry 2021. Can keep them here like this. Okay, let me share my whole screen maybe. Yeah, can you see both of the PDFs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can compare. Okay, so this here, the one which I'm moving now, this is the original CBSE before pandemic. Okay, and this is your 2021 and 2022 CBSE. Now you can see everything is present. Position of hydrogen in periodic table, position of hydrogen in periodic table, occurrence and isotope is there. Then the properties, preparation properties, uses of hydrogen is not there. Okay, you can see that. Then you have hydrides, it is present. Then you have ionic covalent interstitial, that is also present. Then you have physical and chemical properties of water, that is present. Then you have heavy water, correct, it is present. Hydrogen peroxide, these things are not present, and then hydrogen fuel is present. Now, when you are learning about the physical and chemical properties of